I'm Miss Mindorf, and today we're going to be working on equivalent fractions. Does anybody know what an equivalent fraction is? It's okay if you don't. It's okay if you want to guess. No guesses?
Isn't it when you have the same fraction?
When two fractions are equal to each other. Yes, that is what an equivalent fraction is. Does anybody know how you write a fraction? Mercedes?
When you have a line on the top and one on the bottom.
Yep. So if we wanted to write a fraction, give me a number to put up top.
1.
Alright, give me a number to put up below. 3. Okay. So our top number is called the numerator. This is part of the fraction. And our bottom number is called the denominator. That is how many parts make this a whole. So in this case, 3 parts make this piece a whole. And this 1 up here means how many of the parts. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can also show it to you guys in these little fraction pieces that I have. So if we looked at this, this is a whole. We would write that 1 over 1 because there's one piece that we have, which is this, and then one piece to make it the whole. But if we looked at our pink pieces, we have 2 pieces. So if we had 1, how many pieces that we have, and then the 2 parts, that's how many makes it a whole. So to write the fraction of it would be 1 over 2. Because we have 1 part, but 2 parts make it the whole. Do you guys get that? Do you have any questions so far? If we wanted to make this 2 parts be 1, how many pieces up top would we need?
So the 1/2 is just the pink parts, it's not the red and the pink?
No. Together, this would be 2 wholes. Because you have 1 whole as our red part, and you have 2 halves, because these have 2
so
pieces.
What fraction is that?
Together,
All of the red, that.
all of these together, how much is this?
1.
Over,
1.
and then this is 1 over,
1.
this is 1 over 2, because we have 2 pieces to make this a whole. So if we had 2 pieces, this would be a whole, right? And then if we add this to our other piece, so we have 1 whole plus 1 whole is
2.
2 wholes. Good job. So then we'd write that as 2 over 2, because we had 2 whole pieces, and the whole part was 2. And that goes back to being the same as this, because this means a whole part over a whole part, and so does this. It means a whole part over a whole part. And we can do that with smaller numbers than this too. If I get out our yellow pieces, they have 4 parts. And if we took 2 of our 4 parts, we could make 1 pink part. So our 2/4 would be equal to our 1/2. Because 2 of our 4th pieces equals 1 of our half pieces. So then 4 of our yellow pieces would equal 2 of our pink pieces, which we already said equals 1 of our red pieces. So if we wrote 4 over 4, that would be the same thing as our 2 over 2, and then the same thing as our 1 over 1, because they're equal. And that's what we're talking about when we say equivalent fractions, is that they're equal to each other. Do you guys have questions so far? Katrina, you're looking kind of confused.
But if I add 1 and 1, that makes 2. So why don't I have 2 parts?
Over here, or where are you
Yeah.
talking about?
If I took 1,
If you add
Over
this
one.
one plus this one down at the bottom, is that
if I had 2 ones, two red ones, and I wrote them the same and added them together, wouldn't I get 2 over 2?
Come demonstrate what you're trying to say. You can use the pieces.
We learned in adding that when I have 1 over 1 and I add it to another one, so I have two red ones,
Yeah.
then I would have this, right?
Yep, and that's the same as this. They're equivalent to each other. Because you have your whole part, or this is the part that you have, and this is the part that's the whole. If I were to give you this, you would have one whole part. Like, the part you have is the one, and the part that how many pieces make it a whole is 1, 2. And if you added that, say I took the pink pieces, and I have 2 over 2, it's still saying that it's 1. We're just looking at what equals each other right now.
But what if I had 2 pink pieces?
If you had 2 pink pieces, then you're adding them. That is right, that you would have 2 over 2.
So it means
This,
this and both of them?
no, what it means is that your 1 over 1, like this piece, is just equal to those pieces together. Because we're not adding them right now, we're just making them so that they're equal. We'll get to adding later, but what you're saying is right, that you would have 2 pieces over 2 wholes. So it would be 2 over 2 because you have 2 circles right now. We're just not there yet. Right now, today we're looking at how they would be together. So our 2 pieces right here equal our 1 piece right there. So that's a good question. All right, so let's work together, Sadie and Katrina, and let's pretend that we are going to a pizza party. Do you guys like pizza?
Love pizza.
I love pizza too. So let's pretend that we're going to go to a pizza party and we need to make our pizza, but we need to do it with fractions. So our red piece, that's going to be our crust. So we have 1 piece of crust. Okay? So we'll erase this. So I'll put up here that the crust is red, so that we know what we're talking about. And then our cheese is going to be this, or our sauce, I'm sorry, we need sauce before cheese. Our sauce is going to be our pink pieces. And then finally, we'll just make cheese pizza today. Our cheese will be our yellow pieces, okay? Alright, so if we're going to make 1 pizza, how many red pieces do we need?
1.
We just need 1. How would we write that? How many parts are there?
1.
Okay, so that's our bottom number, is our denominator, right? That's what we called that. And that's how many parts make it a whole. And how many parts do we have of this?
Just 1.
Just 1. So it is 1 over 1. Right?
Yep.
Okay, now we need to add our cheese on top, or our sauce. Oh my goodness, I can't make pizza today. We need to add our sauce over top of that. And our sauce is in half pieces. So how many parts make this a whole?
1.
Katrina, you are right. 2 pieces make it a whole. But Mercedes, you're kind of right too. Because if we look at this, this is just 1 piece, right? That's how much I held up. But to put it together, we need 2 pieces to cover our crust with sauce, right? Do you see how they line up together
Yeah.
on top of it? So we need 2 over 2. So that means that these numbers represent the same